In the
in
US, these are
in the
chips,
UK or Australia? How do you
100%
think they
chips.
say it?
We call these
Crisps.
crisps.
Hmm.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
pass
yeah.
the
The other
crisps.
word
Yeah.
that you use, Lucy, is the most complicated word in the English language to say. So let's just call them chips and move along. Yeah, I'll give you that one. Crisps is a notoriously difficult word for learners of English. It's the sps sound at the end, crisps. You'll find a lot of people mispronouncing.
Let's just say, I think in Australia, for example, if you want to say like sandals, they'll say tongs, which
Huh.
has a different meaning out here in the US. The tong is like the thing, like bikini kind of stuff, related stuff, versus
Interesting. Huh.
over there, sandals means tongs. And the list can go on, like cream could be lotion in the UK. In the US, we use lube shop, and the UK that's kind of like weird and taboo to say. I call a shop a lube shop for like mechanic stuff and everything like that. I could go on a
Huh.
list and everything like that, but I'm sure even you in California, maybe you have people who from other places. I'm not sure if you're born and raised in California or from outside.
Yeah, I'm from Minnesota, so we come from a
Yes.
very strong area of accents and pronunciations. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Out there in the Midwest, right? That's what you consider. So, the only thing I know about Minnesota is cold as heck over there.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. You got it right on the button. But yeah, I just moved to Oceanside, California, and haven't looked back. Just moved here a few weeks ago, and yeah, my creativity
Okay.
has spiked, which is pretty awesome.
Oh, you just moved in.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm loving it so far. The weather's great. People
Hmm.
are super nice.
Yeah,
It's just I've always wanted to move to the West Coast, just didn't know
yeah,
where. I was like split between Oregon or Maui. This
yeah.
area seemed to have everything I want. I'm a big like nature person too, so I love to run and bike outdoors, take my
Hmm.
dogs for hikes and stuff. So this has like everything I need, basically.
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, you're probably enjoying the weather a lot more too now because it's a lot warmer here compared to out there.
yes, to say the least. I mean, I was actually diagnosed with seasonal depression, so
Yeah,
I get that every year, and
yeah.
it's like gotten worse. So
Uh-huh.
I'm hoping I won't experience any of that. Being out here and being in the nice weather and everything, that should definitely
Mhm.
help for sure.
Yeah, yeah. No, the warmer. I just feel like living in a warmer place, people are more receptive in general compared to if you live in a colder place. Not 100% true, but I was born in the big city. I was born in New York City, so going back to New York and revisiting over there, it
Oh,
just it just just the vibe there and the culture there is just different, man. Because it's a city of like 29 million people, so like the apathy that exists there because there's so many people living there is really big, and just you have this face you develop over time just from being there, just even just for a week, you know.
interesting. Yeah, I could definitely see that being a thing for sure. It's all about the community
Yeah.
and how you respond to the folks that live there and how they respond to you, I suppose. And so far, everyone out here has been really nice, except for the roads are kind of insanity. But apparently, that's just how it always is. So whatever.
Yeah. It's all good.
Yeah.
Everything's
Hmm.
different. Like just like I just told you about how people say different words and different because we're both speaking English, but there's probably things in the Minnesota that might be more particular to that state compared to New York or living in Florida or such,
Oh, for sure. Yeah, there's certain words that I pronunciate, mostly
Yeah.
like in my some of my vowels, like A's especially, for
Hmm.
sure. They're a little drawn
Hmm.
out.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I feel like in like if people from New York they say like they say yeah like that more versus
Mm,
here in the South they don't really have that. And like just living out here and work because I'm based in Florida,
ah,
it's different because from Florida we have a lot more Hispanics here compared to like the rest of the South.
mm,
And so, some people might say, oh, we're not the real South, I guess. I don't know if that's exactly why, but
mm.
whatever. So living in the South and everything like that, people think that everyone's like an accent, like, oh man, we're getting done and all that kind of stuff. And I'm
Yeah,
like, that's not true. Just like, you live in the Midwest, doesn't mean everyone has like a borderline stereotypical Canadian accent or something like that.
pretty much. I mean, we're
You know?
we're pretty close to Canada.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I live in like the cities in Minneapolis, St.
Yeah,
Paul, so it wasn't like super drawn out accents, but like the farther you
yeah,
go to
yeah,
the countryside, the more
yeah.
you'll experience it. And then the more my voice starts changing because I just adapt to like the areas,
Mm.
like speak how everyone else is speaking. Like, oh yeah, sure. Uh-huh. Oh, you betcha. Oh yeah. Like seriously, people do talk
Yeah,
like that. It's not like as bad
yeah,
as on Fargo. Have you ever seen that movie? Um,
yeah.
that was a
I've
little
never,
overdone.
yeah. Learning
One.
about cookies.
We call these
So how
Mm.
do you think
cookies
they
or
say cookies
chocolate
in
chip
the UK and
cookies
Australia?
specifically. Okay,
Mm.
they are
In the UK,
biscuits.
they probably say
I don't really
cookies.
hear people saying cookies.
Yes. A bunch of British people are just slapping their face like,
These
no,
for
man,
us
that's not
are
how we say it.
biscuits as
Oh,
well.
sure.
And
Yeah,
we would
I've
use
heard that.
cookie to refer
Biscuits,
to
yeah.
an American
Biscuits. Can I have a
style,
biscuit?
normally
Mm.
chocolate chip.
Yeah, yeah. That already
However,
sounds too
if you
formal
use
to
the
me. Like
word
there's something about
biscuit in the
like
United
British English
States, you
and
Mm-hmm.
might get
in
something that you
particular
are.
that it sounds everything they say sounds very formal,
Yeah.
non-confrontational, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In comparison to say a New York accent or East Coast accent, it sounds
Right.
like a fuck you kind of accent. Like, you're like, ah, fuck you, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much. Pretty
You know,
much.
like the British accent, for example. I don't know, just like I said, the culture is different there. I feel like in the United States you can be more confrontational versus in Britain you have to be more formal about how you say things. So even something like, "Can I have a biscuit?" I'm like, "That's a big gesture right there. A biscuit? Wow, man." Next thing you know, you're gonna be inviting me to the Queen, to the Queen's palace and everything like that, you know?
Yeah. That's funny.
But then you got Australia and have their own way of saying things too, and apparently they're more chilled out and whatnot. So like, I
Mm.
don't know, just they seem to copy a lot of the stuff from Britain versus in the U.S. We really made our own version of English, you know?
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure they were colonized by the British. Like Australia was actually just one big old prison island.
Uh
That's
huh.
how they started off.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it was the British who went there.
Mm.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that would
Yeah.
kind of make
Sorry.
sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Don't call me on that, guys, and say that I'm wrong.
yeah,
All you history buffs out there, man, for real.
oh, funny. But yeah, I haven't been to either of those places, so
Mm.
therefore I have no idea how they pronounce all this stuff.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
think it's pretty funny to try.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was actually watching on TikTok. There was this whole thing about this British rapper, actually this British guy. He came from
Uh,
Britain. He's a British black guy, and he went to the U.S. and how there's like certain slangs that they use. For example, like if the area is like really bad or whatever, and some people might call it the hood or whatever. But over
yeah.
there in the UK, in the Britain, they call it the ends. They're from the ends or whatever. So the
Ah,
rapper, the ends or whatever, and I'm like, that still sounds too formal to me anyway.
yeah. The
It
ends. Wait, what
sounds
was the ends referring to?
to like the hood, the bad area.
Oh, yeah, that does sound like a very nice way of saying it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Interesting. Hmm.
yeah.
They're very proper over there.
Well, it's not that, but it's just our interpretation of the accent is different. So, like,
Yeah,
when I hear British accents, they sound different because I'm hearing from an American accent perspective. You see what I'm
sure.
saying?
Yeah, for sure. That makes sense. Hmm.
Versus if you go ahead and you do an accent
Mm-hmm.
and we spoke British English and then we spoke British accent, we can tell the difference between what's considered a formal accent, like the Queen's English, I remember one guy saying, and then something that's, I don't know if it's Shaw or whatever the heck whatever their version of, an unformal, not formal accent is, you know?
Mm-hmm. Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I was really fascinated by how the world speaks differently and whatnot because so much of the world we don't get exposed to, and so if you can't get exposed to it by traveling there all the time, then you can always just watch movies and stuff like that, or just watch some YouTube video about how people from other countries view our country and vice versa. You know?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the interesting thing about language is that a lot of it is
Yeah,
body language anyways. So like I could
yeah,
be talking to someone, and I have no idea what they're saying, and
yes,
speaking different language. But if they're using their hand motions and like their facial expressions, like
yeah,
those are pretty universal. And
yeah,
like I've kind of just figured out what people are saying, like on movies or TV shows without captions, just like simply by their body language, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I just think it depends. So
Okay,
moving on to the
what
next thing.
about
So
this
bangs,
next one?
you know, like hair
What have
bangs,
the
stuff
women
like that.
got
Oh
How do
yeah.
you think?
up here?
How do you think
Do
they
these
say
girls
that
all
in the
have
UK and
bangs?
Australia?
We would definitely say fringe.
Oh, I see.
Bangs is
Fringe.
Yeah, it's
probably
that's kind of weird to be
becoming more
honest. It doesn't sound.
Fringe,
popular,
like the fringe on a
especially
golf course?
colloquially. So in the
I
UK,
don't
we
like. I
definitely
don't.
call
That
this
sounds
a
like something
fringe.
far away.
And
A
when I
fringe, I
started
associate that
hearing
word
the word
something far
bangs
away or something
in
like that.
movies and things like that, I
But
was
regardless of
really
the definition,
genuinely
is
confused.
I guess because it's maybe far away from your forehead. I don't from the start of your hair, your scalp. I don't know. But
Well, in golf, the fringe is like the outer layer of a green. Like the fringe is like the thicker grass. So if it's like the
yeah,
outer layer, that would make sense. The outer layer
yeah,
of
yeah.
your like face, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And since most
Mm-hmm.
words are derived from like Latin, like almost
Yeah,
every language, I guess that would maybe make sense. I don't know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Just again, languages just change. So how you say one thing in this country totally changes once you just even I'm sure even in Canada, some of the words definitely change. You know.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, definitely.
But
Hmm.
yeah, the whole Canada thing, I don't know. Just like I said, like even actually, you know, the Netherlands, for example, they speak out there in Dutch, and surprisingly, Dutch people can understand English pretty well. Like
Hmm.
I don't know. They say that actually English and Dutch are actually very similar. I don't know if it's actually true, but it sounds totally different when I hear them speak it.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay. Hmm.
yeah.
Huh.
It just really depends. Like I said, like even like I don't know, like I said, other English speaking countries, for example, like if you go to like South Africa or Singapore. I don't
Hmm.
know if I'm picking on Singapore for a little bit right now because in Singapore there's a lot of Chinese people there, but the official language is English.
Hmm.
So they mix it in with like Chinese and English. So when you hear them speak, they kind of sound like they're speaking Chinese accent, but like but they understand English, and
Hmm.
so they say things that don't make any sense. At least in my opinion, from an American English accent.
Hmm.
But it's interesting, and I'm sure South Africa has their own ways of saying things too. Like one guy was saying like Z instead of Z. I don't know if that's because of the languages over there they pronounce the Z different, but he was like Z, zebra, zebra. I thought
Hmm.
that was interesting. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
I go on a whole rant about this all day about
Yeah.
language.
Really? You don't say.
Well, we're talking about this in the video anyway, so we might as well talk about this.
Yeah,
So that way we actually have some content to talk about. That will
for sure.
get viral and everything like that. Because
Yeah.
for whatever reason, people love to watch people watch videos, right?
Yeah, yeah. I used to have kind of a reaction series a long time ago when I first started social media, and
Yeah,
it did really well. I like reacted to people's like, social videos that they made, and
yeah,
yeah, people were kind of obsessed with it. Like I didn't
yeah,
think it was going to take off, and it did.
yeah,
Um, but
yeah.
yeah,
I think it's because it's like like America's Home videos or like those video series where they used to like
yeah.
on TV back when people used to watch cable. There used to be those clips.
Hmm.
The host would like watch a bunch of clips and be like, "Oh," and they can make a little commentary. It's funny. It's pretty much the same thing if you think about it, right?
That's true. That's true. It's just yeah, reacting and narrating to. You got to pull your best Bob Saget voice then.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times the people they choose as hosts for those shows, more often than not, are usually stand-up comics. People who do
Right.
stand-up
Yep. Totally.
because they figure, hey, if they're gonna do a commentary about this, we need somebody funny.
And someone who can like do voices and stuff, like voiceover stuff.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Overwhelmingly, they love to use people who either were in stand-up or have done like a lot of comedy movies for hosts. If you notice that a lot.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I have. That's a good
Yeah.
point.
Because they figure, hey, why don't I just go ahead and just take somebody who's actually? Because think about it, if we're gonna watch like a 28 half an hour show, you want to laugh at least at some of this stuff, especially if it's like just you watching somebody watch clips. I mean, how entertaining can that be if the person who's making commentary and that is not to be stereotyping, but just being honest, if it's a physicist, I don't know what a physicist. I'm sure some physicists are funny, but like I'm gonna guess the average guy is like Elon Musk. You can't understand anything this guy's saying. It's just boring as heck to listen to.
Right. Totally.
Elon's a smart dude, but just his voice is like, jeez Louise, man, Jesus.
Yeah, he's a little monotone. He's not like super engaged
Yes.
of a speaker.
If it turns out that he's an android, no one's gonna be surprised by that.
No.
But like, we knew it. That's why you want everybody to be a robot, don't you?
Yeah. Pretty much. That's his like cover story.
Yeah. He's like, oh, I want to help the human race out. I'm like, yeah, sure. You and the CEO of Facebook are both robots. I remember. Let's go back to the clip now.
Sure.
This is a
So basically, now it's talking about,
some people might call it a
all right,
bathing
swimsuit, a
You can also
bathing
call
suit, a
this
one piece.
one-piece.
How would you say
Okay,
something like
this
that
one's
in
really
the UK
funny.
and Australia?
In Melbourne, where I'm
Oh, I
from,
feel like I know this
it's really
one.
common to
They
call
say
them togs.
togs,
But no one else in Australia really calls
swimmers,
them togs. They call it swimmers.
cousins.
Swimmers.
In Sydney.
Those all sound like reasonable words, I suppose.
Yeah.
Bather.
Reasonable, but kind of off, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You go to, let's just say you're from Brand, you come over here like, yo, man, let's put my swimming costume on. Like, what? Like, what? Your swimming costume? Let alone Australia, they go togs. Yo, I'm putting my togs on. What the heck is a tog, man?
That's funny. Yeah, definitely.
Jack uses or what? I'm not really sure. But yeah, man, just languages everywhere, man. They have different meanings. Different stuff has different meanings. Like for, the middle finger might not mean the same thing everywhere around the world. It might have no meaning in different parts of the world.
Yeah, that's true. They do change.
Yeah. For example, like even like sign language. Actually, not think, but maybe not sign language is a good example of that. But even just the pronunciation of things, like every time someone says I'm an Aussie, it sounds like they're having like a O instead of an A whenever they say it.
Yeah.
Their English and whatnot.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's definitely yeah, I mean, yeah, there's so many things that could get you in trouble if you say the wrong word or the wrong gesture.
Yeah.
You can be really screwed pretty bad. So best is not to say anything or do anything with your hands. Just nod your head and smile. That's pretty universal.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, that's the last clip, man. But we don't have a lot of time left, but the little bit of time that we have left right now anyways. So what about you, man? Like, what's the music, man? How's that going, man? How's that been going?
It's going great. Thanks for asking. Yeah, ever since I moved out here, my creativity is just blowing up. I mean, I've been able to write a ton of new songs. I just launched a new song, Life Together. It's live everywhere on Apple Music, Spotify. You can check the link in my bio, or just search for Life Together by Kyle Coughlin. That one was a lot of fun to make. I've got hundreds of songs. I just need to decide which song that's, kind of more modern, up to date, and relevant to, the changing society. Because a lot of my music, like any other art, is based off of, current times. Either current times of my state of mind at the moment, or based off of external things like, what's going on either locally or nationally or globally. But yeah, I definitely keep super busy with music. Like I said, I'm working on some music NFT strategy right now. I'm just kind of in the middle of a big rebrand with that. So I hope to have that done this week and then start getting out some more music. But the big thing I want to focus on is bridging the crypto blockchain side to music and develop, a new audience based on those two, colliding industries, because they're both.
What about Zepeto, man?
Zepeto.
Everyone's talking about the metaverse, man. It's a 3D avatar social networking app. It has over 100 million users right now.
Oh yeah, I have heard of that one. I'm not on there. I should probably try that out.
I already got like almost 20,000 followers on there right now.
Really? Wow. You need to.
Right now, you don't have to worry about how many people are following you. You can follow 20,000 people in one day, and it won't matter.
That's ideal on social networks when you first start.
Because on Instagram, to be able to do that, but now you can't because it's already been out for over a decade now. So they don't want the bots. They want you to spend money on the ads. But Zepedo's still trying to grow, and so they're just gonna let you not. They're gonna let you use the bots. They're gonna let you do all the crazy crap that you could have done on Instagram, like even 3 or 4 or 5 years ago. That would have been maybe more effective back then than it is now. You know?
Right. Yeah. Before people even knew like what the point of social networks were when everything first came out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's interesting. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. But
I want to say check it out. Do it, man.
I
Do it
will.
right.
I will. I need to. I need to catch up on stuff. I've been
I
kind of
mean,
lagging behind. I mean,
you
I've
know,
been
I was gonna
spending
say,
so much time on making
yeah,
music that I haven't really been watching the blockchain space that much. I've just been focusing on just making good quality music, and hopefully,
yeah,
I mean, I know some big things will happen this year. I've got big plans. You know,
uh-huh.
I'm not I'm not going down without a fight. At some point I'm going to die, and
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to ask myself as I'm dying, did I do everything within my power, within my motivation to achieve my goals?
yeah, yeah,
And I kind of tell myself that every day, and just as a reminder, like time is limited. You
yeah,
hear people dying from various things around our age, and
yes, yes,
just I want to go down eventually knowing that I gave it my all and that I sacrificed whatever I could. That includes relationships, going out with friends. You
yeah,
know, I mean, I used to be a competitive athlete, and I had to
mhm,
sacrifice a lot to train and to get
yeah,
good sleep before a race. While my friends were all partying on the weekends, I was
yeah,
going to bed at like 8 or 9 because I had a race the next day I had to get ready for.
yeah,
So I'm trying to get back into the athlete mindset when it comes to music and my professional outlook for it, because it does
yeah,
take that discipline, does take sacrifice like anything else. Doesn't matter what industry you're in, but if you're willing to sacrifice and really give up
yeah,
a lot of other things, even like friends or even family for that matter, like you got to give it
yeah,
up a lot just to make things happen, or
yeah,
to give or allow yourself the opportunity to make that
yeah,
happen. But like anything else, there's a time and place for it all, and there's
mm,
boundaries. You got to set. You still have to live a life, obviously. So I'm not saying like don't start a family so you can pursue your dreams. I know plenty of people who have started a family and they're still living out their dreams.
yeah.
Whatever that may be. So, but for me
Hey,
personally, I just need less
hey,
distraction.
Kyle.
Yep.
I don't want to interrupt you. I actually do want to see the conversation some more, but we'll have to continue next time because the
Oh yeah.
live stream is end right now, man.
Sure. Yeah.
So
No worries.
we'll hop in. I enjoyed the conversation. I like this. We'll do something like this in the future, man. We'll stay in contact, man. All right?
Yeah. Sounds great, William. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate
You
it.
too.
And yeah, be sure to go check out my song "Life Together." Appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, go check him out. Stream his stuff. Get him to 1 billion views. All
All
right.
right, man.
Bye bye.
All right. See ya. Bye.